You guys know on this channel, we are all about finding the bolos and everything, not just the very out there, loud, in your face brands that everyone's talking about, but pockets of bolos within brands that you come across every single day. This has been a project of mine for a couple of years now, and recently I have been diving deep into the research of everyday brands because I have learned that there are a lot of things that we're all just walking right by that sell for great amounts of money, and also a lot of quick bread and butter flips that you can pick up in bulk and find pretty much everywhere at places like the Goodwill outlet, the bins, and at thrift stores. So today I'm going to share 5 of those with you, things that have surprisingly good sell-through rates, things that made me take a pause and go, I didn't realize that. I wanted to say that what I consider to be a good sell-through rate in some of these searches is about 50% or higher. If I'm doing a generalized search, I haven't narrowed down to size, color, specific style name, or anything like that, seeing a 50% sell-through rate or higher and solds that contain hundreds or thousands within the last 90 days is a good indicator to me that there is a market for the item, that I could potentially pick them up and flip them for good amounts of money, or it's something that I would pick up at the bins and can find a lot of and quick flip by slightly undercutting the market. So 50% or higher is usually what I'm looking for when I'm doing tests into everyday mall brands and stuff we come across every day. So with that in mind, let's dive into these items. And I do have a mix of both men's and women's items. We are going to start off with women's items. The first one is one that I came across recently, and I took a second glance when I found one at the bins, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and look this up because it's a larger size. And surprisingly, this item, just as a whole, without even factoring to size, has a pretty good sell-through rate and is now something that I am looking for all the time. That is Skies Are Blue blazers. Let me know down in the comments, have you guys come across this before? All right, so currently I have this filtered to women's clothing. We've searched Skies Are Blue blazer, and then we are filtered to pre-owned. That's probably what I'll do for each of these. I'll just make sure I'm in the right category so that anything not related to the search is filtered out, and then we'll do pre-owned because we're mostly coming across pre-owned items. So for Skies Are Blue blazer, there are 149 available. And 104 sold. Now, I know, again, that's not 100% sell-through rate, but as a category, that is quite a bit for an overall search. And as you can see, a lot of them are selling for really good money. Depending on the size, the color you have, you're looking at probably a $25 to sometimes a $40 sale. Definitely one that I am keeping my eye out for. And here is the label in case you guys haven't seen this and you are wanting to start to pick it up. All right, next, going to the men's category. This is probably, regardless of brand, something I would look into, but there is one particular brand that I notice has a pretty higher significant sell-through rate than all the others when it comes to mall brands. This is going to be J. Crew men's corduroy pants. If you find any pair of corduroy pants in any brand, I would probably look them up because corduroy increases sell-through rate and ASP typically during this time of the year. For whatever reason, J. Crew holds a lot of value, and it is a brand that I come across often. All right, so for J. Crew men's corduroy pants pre-owned, we've got 1,300 available. We have 782 sold. That's really great for just a regular old search. And you can see that they do range. Some of them are going for more than others, depending on size, color, and sometimes a particular style or features. But in general, it is one that I would be on the lookout for where you can find it cheap. I think we all know what the J. Crew label looks like, right? All right, next up, this one is near and dear to my heart, and I am sharing it with you guys. I have actually shown this in a couple what sold videos and some thrift hauls, maybe even thrift with me like bins videos. It is something that I have consistently picked up for about a year now. I cannot pick them up at full prices at thrift stores, but when I find them for cheap, I am getting them. And those are Sonoma women's cargo pants. Okay, so for Sonoma women's cargo pants, there is 307 available pre-owned. and there is 98 sold. Now, again, that is a generalized sold, but what I wanted to really narrow down with you, and we're not doing these for most of the items I'm showing you today, actually just this particular one, but these ones perform better in larger sizes, even something as small as a size 12. Let me go ahead and search that. 27 sold. 31 available. So actually close to a 100% sell-through rate. You can see a lot more smaller batches, not as much selling, but for me have consistently sold. It is something that I do rely on. And they do make plus sizes as well, which can go for more. You're going to want to pick these up at lower prices. I can usually get about $20 for mine. And the last two are both going to be flannels. I've got one for men's and one for women's. Let's start with the men's. So this next one are going to be LL Bean men's flannels, specifically in plaid. When I did an LL Bean men's flannel search, it wasn't as good. So I included the keyword plaid because those are typically the ones that I find and pick up. Those do have a pretty good sell-through rate. I don't know about you guys, but I come across LL Bean very often where I live. In LL Bean men's plaid flannels, we have 12,000 available pre-owned and 4,700 sold. Now, I know that that is not a 50% sell-through rate. However, there are a lot selling within 90 days. So 4,700 sold within the last 90 days. I want that to sink into your head. And again, I'm not telling you to go around picking up stuff with less than a 50% sell-through rate, but we have not even drilled down yet to any other factors like if it is lined, what exact size it is. Larger sizes, by the way, perform better when it comes to sell-through rate. Color and type of plaid is obviously a big factor as well, but consistently you can sell these for great bread and butter money, even the more plain ones. I would say at least $20 on these. And again, not saying that it has a super high sell-through rate, but it does have evidence of a ton selling within the last 90 days. If you're finding them at the Goodwill outlet, the bins, or even on sale somewhere, or you can get a large amount of them in bulk, they do flip. Using the right keywords, as you can study some of the solds here to see what they are using, you can definitely increase yours to a higher sell-through rate. And the last one is going to be a women's flannel, which is a specific style in Old Navy called the boyfriend flannel. I've talked about these before. They performed really well for me last year as just quick flip bread and butter that I can find at the bins. And then I realized that there was a very specific one that went for much, much more. I'll let you guys decide as I show you the solds here which one that is, but if you know, you know. I've talked about it before, and I've also shown you guys in what sold videos that specific one can go for $40 to $50. But most of them are generally going for anywhere from $15 to $25. They do have a surprising sell-through rate, and solds include more than just that one particular color. All right, so in the Old Navy boyfriend flannel in the women's tops category, we have 582 available pre-owned and 272 sold. So again, just for an overall category, a very good sell-through rate. And you can see that there are different colors and sizes which are selling. I will let you determine which ones would be the right ones to sell for you. Last year I was picking up quite a bit of these. If you market them in the right way, you can get about $15 to $25 for them unless you get that rare color. All right, you guys, so those are 5 things that have surprisingly good sell-through rates and things that you should consider picking up if you've got the right style, size, and factors in place and you're getting it for a good price. I personally am going to be looking for all of these items at the bins and using them as bread and butter sales to pad my regular sales. If you guys like this video, let me know down below. I will consider doing another one. I have an entire list of things with surprisingly good sell-through rates and brands that you're probably coming across all the time. And if you're not already, consider subscribing down below and hitting the notification bell. If you do that, you'll be notified every single time I post these videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.